Okay, this is going to be part 2 on making a sterling silver ingot at home. If you want to know how to cast the ingot, watch my other video on how to do that. This is not the same ingot from that video. The ingot I made in my first video got remelted with a little bit more silver scrap to ultimately make this bar, which is a lot bigger, a lot chunkier. So this video is going to be pretty much on the finishing process of how to get your silver bar stamped and how to get this nice almost mirror polish shine to it. It's going to show you how to remove all the borax glass after you've casted your ingot and get it to shine up really nice for you, like this one. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is, once you have your ingot cast and it's nice and cool, you're going to want to start out with some sandpaper. I started out with I think 150 grit sandpaper, and you're just going to go ahead and sand the entire bar and just, start trying to smooth it out, get all the imperfections out of it. And then after you sand with your 150, move up to a 220 grit paper and sand it again. That's going to get out all the scratches from the 150 and replace them with smaller scratches so they're not as noticeable. Okay, after that, you're going to want to take some steel wool. Go ahead and go over the whole thing with steel wool. Now you're going to lose a little bit of silver when you do your sanding, but you're taking off so little of an amount. It's not going to be it's not going to be taking a whole bunch of money out of your pocket. You might lose a gram or two in this whole finishing process. So after you've sanded it, got all the borax glass off of it, if there's any on there, and you've steel wooled it, it should look pretty shiny. I mean, you're still going to see scratches on it, but it's going to look a lot better than what it did, right out of the mold. Okay, after you get it nice and cleaned up, you're going to go ahead and stamp it. Now you're going to stamp it first, because after the final step in polishing this, that final step's actually going to harden the silver, and if you try and stamp it at the very end, it could actually crack the bar completely in half when you stamp it, because it's going to be a lot more brittle. So I'm going to show you how to do that final step after you've done your sanding and your steel wool on the bar. So the step after that is going to be tumbling it. So this is a tumbler that I made pretty cheaply. If you want to go out and buy a tumbler, more power to you. I didn't want to go spend $30-40 on a tumbler that I was only going to use a couple of times just to polish some silver. So I just made one here. This is about a 5-inch piece of PVC pipe, 2-inch PVC pipe, 2-inch wide, with an end cap on it, and I just Gorilla Glued that on. You can use your PVC, cement, purple primer, all that if you have it. I didn't have any on hand, so I just used Gorilla Glue, which works fine. It's completely waterproof, and that cap's not coming off anytime soon. So you just want to make a little cylinder, basically, to tumble your silver bar in. In the end of this, I drilled a hole for a bolt and a rubber washer. The rubber washer's underneath the bolt on the inside, and then on the outside, just another washer and a nut. Now I can chuck this right into a drill. I have a variable speed drill, so I put this on a slow setting. So basically it's spinning maybe this fast right here. You don't want it going super fast. It's going to fling everything right out of the end. So just tumble it slow once you have it in your drill, or if you have just a regular tumbler, just tumble it slow. It doesn't have to be fast at all. Okay. So once you got this built, if you're making your own, hook that up into your drill and get yourself some BBs. Now if you were doing this professional, you'd have a real life tumbler and stainless steel shot. Well, again, I wasn't paying $20 for a pound of stainless steel shot, so I got a couple of these little containers of BBs, and they'll work just fine. Just make sure when you're done you dry them off completely, or else they're going to rust. So take your tumbler, just pour your BBs in. You want to have enough BBs in there to cover the whole silver bar. Okay, so take your BBs, throw them in there, throw your silver bar in there. Then you're going to fill it up with water. You're only going to fill it up with water, enough water to cover the BBs. Okay, that's all you need. Once you have your water in there and your BBs, put 1 or 2 drops of blue dishwashing detergent. Don't get any kind of crazy scented stuff or fancy dish soap or anything like that. Just get the regular blue original dish soap and just go ahead and tumble it. It's going to create sort of a cascading effect with the BBs all over that silver bar, and you're going to leave it in there for a couple hours. Mine only took me about maybe 2 or 3 hours to polish up real nice. Yours might take longer depending on how well you sanded it. So go ahead and tumble, and the last step will be buffing. So after you've pulled out your silver bar out of your tumbler, it's going to look really nice. It's going to be really shiny, and it's going to be hardened after that. From the BBs, basically slamming into this all over for such a long period of time, maybe 3 or 4 hours. That actually hardens the silver bar. So that's why you wanted to do your stamping on the bar before you tumbled it, because after that, it's a lot harder, but it's a lot more brittle. It has more likelihood of cracking now. So it's because it's not as soft. So when you pull that out of your tumbler, it's basically going to look like this. It's going to be really shiny, and you'll be amazed to see all the scratch marks from your sandpaper, from your sanding, and all the scratch marks from your steel wool are all going to be gone, and it's gonna be real nice and smooth, almost smooth as glass, and that's what you want. It's not going to round over the corners like this bar. Okay, I did that on purpose. I did that while I was sanding it. I rounded those corners off. So don't be afraid that if you put it in the tumbler, it's going to turn a square bar into an oval bar or something like that. Because it's not. So the absolute final step after you've pulled it out of your tumbler, dry it off. Go ahead and get your buffing wheel out. This is just a cheap little buffing wheel I got that goes into a drill, and some polishing compound. This is extra fine white diamond polishing compound. You can actually get this whole set in a kit at Harbor Freight. It comes with 2 wheels and 2 different types of compound. It has a red compound and a white compound. So if you go ahead and get that kit, you know, it's only like $5. You would use your red compound first, get it all on your wheel, and just, you know, you'll have this in a drill. Just go ahead and run your whole bar on this, and then switch to the white if you have it. That's going to finish off your bar. That's going to take out any last little tiny scratch marks or anything like that, and you're going to have a finished bar that looks, you know, very similar to this. The more time you take with it in the sanding and the using the steel wool, and the more time that you leave it in your tumbler, the shinier it's going to be. You could get this looking, you know, like an absolute mirror if you wanted to. Just depends on how long you're willing to work on it. So that's how you take your silver bar and finish it. It's real easy to do, and it has a great outcome. Thanks for watching.